And a great author, Stephen Covey, he wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He said about perfectionism, perfection prevents action. So what do top decision makers actually do differently? First of all, they don't seek perfectionism. What they do is, if they feel confident that they have 80%, round about 80% of the information necessary to make a decision, they just go for it. They don't wait hours, days, weeks, months for the last 20% to come around. If they got the 80% that's necessary, makes them feel confident, they make the decision and take action. So that's what you gotta do. Next trap would be that under stress, humans tend to fall back to old habits. That's not a big problem at first, but if you think about it, if we tend to fall back on old habits, even if we're in a new situation, we might use a habit that's not working anymore today. And then right. So, how do those habits develop? Before we dive into how you can change them, they do develop by conditioning. Meaning, if you're confronted with the situation the first time, you're urged for a decision. What actions you gotta take? And then you respond accordingly. And if the same situation happens over and over again, this decision turns into a habit. You don't really have to think about it anymore. It just happens. It's automatic. And that's good, right? That's okay, as long as it works. But if you're confronted with changing conditions and a new environment, the old habits might not work anymore, and you have to make a new decision. That won't work unless you were stressed. Because under stress, we fall back on those old habits that have proven themselves over time, even if they don't work anymore. Before we do that and dive into that, what happens to the brain under stress, I'd like to invite you all to test your own habits. And just follow me on this one. Put your hands together like this. Just fingers crossed all the way. And have a look at your thumb. Which thumb is on top, left or right? You can even check with the partner sitting next to you. Which thumb is on top, left, right? All right? And now I want you to switch the thumbs. Put the other one on top and just for a moment see how it feels. How does it feel? It feels kind of awkward, right? It feels pretty strange. Why? Why does this small thing feel so strange? It's because the way you did it first, it's your habit. And you're used to that. We call that the comfort zone. Yeah, Virginia Satir started with that in the first place. It wasn't called the comfort zone at first. Right? So now you changed it. You changed the habit. It feels uncomfortable because you left your comfort zone. We're going to need that later on. So according to behavioral economy, it takes quite some time to change existing habit or build up new ones. For example, around about 2 months, 66 days does it take in the morning after you get out of bed and you want to establish a new habit. For example, drinking a glass of water. Right? After you get out of bed, right away, drink a glass of water. Supposed to be healthy. Pretty easy. Doesn't take that much time. Getting out of bed, or maybe rolling out of bed, I don't know about you guys, and you have to do 50 sit-ups. Not so easy. Takes longer. That's pretty similar when it comes to decision making. Easy decisions, we're not really that stressed about. Works. The big, difficult decisions. Somebody's supposed maybe to play in Jaws next time I do this. Dun, dun. The big decisions, we feel a lot more stressed. The funny thing is, intellectually, it's just 2 decisions. There's no difference. You just have to make a decision in either ways. But emotions have a huge impact on the whole decision-making process. So that's what we got to look at. The brain under stress. So what happens to the brain under stress? In the center, the green part is the thalamus. It's not really green in real life. The green part, the thalamus, is kind of like a watchdog. And what it does is, if you're relaxed and happy and everything's fine, you're in your comfort zone, and new information comes in, the thalamus is supposed to process that information to the frontal cortex, right here. And that's where you can make smart, calm, rational, good decisions. But under stress, what happens is a lot of cortisol comes up. It's a stress hormone, and it kind of blocks the thalamus. He's unable to cope with all that information coming in. So he kind of freaks out. And then there's help. Amygdala steps in. She's like a little diva. Don't photograph me on that one. Like a little diva. And amygdala, what does she do? Actually, she's trying to help. Amygdala steps in. She's trying to help you. And she does that by trying to prevent you from dangerous situations. Just think about it for a second, yeah? You might be 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 years back in the days, you're walking through a forest, very nice weather, and there would be a saber-toothed tiger jumping out of the forest. And you'd be like, oh, saber-toothed tiger. That's you in a calm, easygoing state, no stress involved. And the thalamus, the watchdog, goes, oh, I see a saber-toothed tiger. Forward that information to the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex goes, oh, wow, a saber-toothed tiger, never seen that one before. How would it maybe feel to pet it on the furry head? Not such a good idea. So that's where the stress hormone kicks in. The amygdala goes, wait! I saw that guy 2 days ago. He tried to pet it. He got no hands, no head. He dead. So that's good, right? That's good. Stress kicks in. Amygdala goes, no, run. And you're alive. So amygdala tries to prevent you from danger, and she does it by overriding your system. And that's a great escape reflex, actually. Problem is, today, if we get stressed, it's not so much because we see a saber-toothed tiger, and we don't really have the necessity to just run away. So how can we cope with that? Because the same escape reflex happens if you're just under stress because your boss puts up a big folder right in front of you on your desk. It goes, wham! And you're like, what? And he goes, we have 30 minutes left, and you got to fix this problem now. And you look in the folder, the first page, and you know instantly you've never done a task like this ever before. And you get pumped up, you get stressed, and you might get blocked. So that's a big issue. How do top decision makers cope with that? Actually, what they do is they train their brain under stress, and they do that by leaving their comfort zone. They train to leave the comfort zone where they feel comfortable and easy by starting out new stuff, new things, constantly changing their habits and looking for new ways to explore. And let's face it, they're a little bit crazy about it too, but they always want to perform better and improve their own habits. So how do they do it, actually? And Navy SEALs do it as well. Navy SEALs, they have to make good decisions even if somebody's shooting at them. That's what you should do, actually, train your brain. But good news is you don't have to be shot at, all right? You can do it like this. Just try out new stuff, new things. Yeah, even small but constant changes in your habits keeps the brain alert. And the cortisol level rises, even in everyday situations, just because they're new out of your comfort zone. And your brain gets used to that higher cortisol level. So just try out new hobbies, try new things. And your brain learns to make great decisions regardless of a high cortisol level. That's how to do that.